I want to welcome you back to the DLow Show. I am your host, Ryan DLow Delosier. And today we're looking into a case from Yakima, Washington. We've been covering stuff from Yakima, Washington for a while, and we're going back there today. This case from Yakima, Washington, it defines the word senseless. It's a story about a dispute over a car, a 1980s Mustang, and an $1,800 debt. Most people would take that to small claims court. But on April 23rd, 1999, that debt was settled, not in small claims court, but with a .38 caliber semi-automatic handgun. The target at the time when this happened, once again going back to April 23rd, 1999, the target wasn't even home. Andres Rivera, the man who allegedly owned, or the man who allegedly owed the money, was out that night. Left inside the house at 317 South 9th Street were his common law wife, Maria Zarate, her 9-year-old stepdaughter, Mira, and their 3-year-old daughter, Gabriela. And it was at 10:20 p.m., according to witnesses, a man burst through the back door and opened fire. But before he even got inside, he encountered Rufino Davila, a neighbor living in a garage apartment. Davila testified that the gunman told him, "Don't move or you're dead," before shooting him in the back. Davila played dead, watching as the gunman entered the main house. Inside, the scene was pure terror. Maria Zarate testified that she begged the man not to shoot her or the children, but he didn't listen. Prosecutor Jeff Sullivan described what happened next as an execution. Everything that went through from here on out was basically what Jeff Sullivan described. It was not just coming in and getting the money. It was an execution. The gunman stood over 3-year-old Gabriela, who was lying on a bedroom floor, and fired a single shot into the back of her head. He then turned the gun to Maria and 9-year-old Myra, hitting them both as they tried to hide. Within hours, police arrested 26-year-old Rosendo Delgado Jr. and his 20-year-old cousin Julio. The bail was set high, $1 million for Rosendo. The interrogation was a point of massive contention during the trial. Detective Michael Tovar admitted he pushed Rosendo's head toward a photograph of the dead 3-year-old when the suspect tried to look away. The defense called it aggressive. The prosecution called it civil. Eventually, Rosendo allegedly cracked. Sergeant Mike Merriman testified that Rosendo looked up and said, "I was there." He claimed everything started to go really, really fast, and that he only shot the neighbor because the man came at him. After the shooting, he said he went to a bar to drink and forget about it. When the trial began in May of 2000, the defense had one main argument: mistaken identity. Attorney Greg Scott pointed out there wasn't a single piece of forensic evidence. No DNA, no fingerprints, nothing tying Rosendo to the inside of that house. But the survivors disagreed. Rufino Davila, the neighbor, looked Rosendo in the eye in court and identified him as the shooter. Maria Zarate stood up 3 times during her testimony, pointing at Delgado, and said, "It's him." For months leading up to the trial, the biggest question was whether Rosendo would face the death penalty. Prosecutor Jeff Sullivan had only sought it once before in his 30-year career. Ultimately, Sullivan decided not to seek the death penalty, citing Rosendo's lack of prior criminal history. Instead, Delgado faced life in prison without the possibility of parole. A 3-year-old girl lost her life over the title of a $1,800 Ford Mustang. It's a stark reminder of how quickly a minor dispute can escalate into a lifetime of tragedy. I want to thank you for listening to the DLow Show. I'll be back giving you some more episodes later on. Going through this one here today. This was an interesting one that I saw. I picked this one up because it was a death penalty case. There was some articles in it. I had found this one when I was searching other stuff as well, and just thought I'd go through and check this case out. Looking for some of them. It was potentially a death penalty case. And I thought I would try to find some of those as well to cover as part of my podcast. And just some of the articles here from the Yakima Herald on April 29th of 1999. Said the article title from Yakima Herald Republic was Jeff Sullivan May Seek Death Penalty. And Yakima man arraigned for allegedly killing girl who was 3 years old, cousin charged with being an accomplice to murder. So that was one of the articles that I found. And then there was another one that was from May 4th, 1999 from the Yakima Herald as well. Man being held as possible material witness to shooting that killed 3-year-old. And Jose Canales, a 24-year-old man, was being held in Yakima County Jail as a material witness to the shooting rampage inside the Yakima home that left the 3-year-old girl dead and 3 injured. That's interesting that he was just being held as a witness in jail. Wonder why he's just a witness, but they can hold him in jail. Anyways, see if there's more in this article right here. So Jose Canales was held on $50,000 bail during a hearing Monday in Yakima County Superior Court. Canales was arrested late Saturday at a Yakima tavern. Yakima Police Captain Jeff Schneider said the man may have information about the April 23rd fatal shooting at the Yakima home. He said, but he has not cooperated with investigators. 2 men accused of entering the home at 317 South 9th Street at 10:20 p.m. and shooting 4 people have been charged. Rosendo was the one that we had talked about earlier. He was 26 years old at the time, and he faces the charge of first-degree aggravated murder for the shooting death of 13-year-old Gabriela Rivera. 3 other people were also shot, including the girl's mother, who was 22-year-old Maria Zarate. A 9-year-old girl and a 33-year-old Rufino Davia were also shot when Delgado allegedly opened fire in the house with his .38 caliber semi-automatic handgun. All 3 were shot in the back, which is interesting as well, too. Definitely takes out self-defense out of that one. And have since been released from Yakima Hospital. Delgado also has been charged with 3 counts of attempted murder. He is being held in Yakima County Jail on $1 million bail. Delgado's cousin, 20-year-old Julio Delgado, has been charged with being an accomplice to first-degree aggravated murder, and 3 counts accomplice to attempted murder. And he was being held on $500,000 bail. Authorities allege Julio Delgado went to the house with his cousin and was inside when the shooting erupted after the men broke in through the back door. Investigators believe the shooting was a result of a dispute over ownership of a car. Yakima County prosecuting attorney Jeff Sullivan is considering whether to seek the death penalty against both subjects. Snyder wouldn't say what information Canales may have. So interesting as well right there. That was from May 4th, 1999. That went along with that. I'm going to see if I can find some more information here on Canales, but I think that might have been it. I don't know. Here's the 1 man held in fatal shooting as material witness. They also took Patricio Zamora. And so here's another article. This was on May 7th, 1999, again from the Yakima Herald Republic. So a second material witness to the fatal shooting of a 3-year-old girl in Yakima on April 23rd has been arrested. Police said Thursday, Patricio Zamora, 23 years old, is being held in Yakima County Jail on $100,000 bail. Interesting. Patricio was $100,000, whereas Jose was only $50,000. So just interesting how there's more on that one. So Zamora was arrested Tuesday at a Yakima home on a misdemeanor warrant. Yakima Police Captain Jeff Schneider said. Also being held as a material witness is Jose Canales, 24, who was arrested Saturday in the home of 317 South 9th Street, and his bail was set at $50,000. Schneider declined to comment specifically on why the 2 men were taken into custody. Material witnesses are jailed when authorities have reason to believe they are in danger or pose a risk of fleeing, he said. Prosecutors are considering seeking the death penalty against two men charged with slaying 3-year-old Gabriela Rivera and shooting three others, including the child's 22-year-old mother, a 9-year-old girl, and a 33-year-old man. So Rosendo Delgado Jr. faces 1 count of aggravated first-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted murder, being held on $1 million bail. His cousin, 20-year-old Julio Delgado, has been charged as an accomplice to aggravated murder and attempted murder. His bail is set at $500,000. Authorities allege Rosendo Delgado Jr. opened fire with his .38 caliber semi-automatic handgun after he and his cousin broke in the back door of the family's home at 10:20 p.m. So again, and then Rosendo is now guilty and is spending some time in jail after his life sentence went through. So yeah, there's several articles. Jose Canales, another article right here. Material witness. The material witnesses to the girl slain were released, and this was on May 8th. So the guys were in jail from Jose was put in on the 4th, and then Patricio was on the 7th, and then the newspaper article right here from May 8th, 1999 says material witnesses to the girl slain released. So we'll just kind of finish this right here with where they got their final information on these individuals. 2 men arrested as material witnesses to the slaying of a 3-year-old Yakima girl have been released from Yakima County Jail. Jose Canales was 24 and Patricio Zamora was 23. They must stay in daily contact with correction officers and may not leave the county, according to court records, allowing their release. The 2 men were arrested earlier this week in connection with April 23rd shooting death of 3-year-old Gabriela Rivera. 3 others were injured during the shooting at the Yakima home, including the child's 22-year-old mother, 9-year-old girl, and a 33-year-old man. Investigators arrested Canales and Zamora because they were believed to have information about the shooting and were considered at risk to fleeing the area. Neither man is suspected of being directly involved in the shooting. Rosendo Delgado Jr., 26 years old, has been charged with aggravated first-degree murder and 3 counts of first-degree assault. His cousin, 20-year-old Julio Delgado, has been charged as an accomplice to aggravated murder and assault. Investigators believe the shooting stemmed from a dispute over the ownership of a car. That was that Mustang we were talking about earlier. Police allege that the Delgado cousins broke in the back door of the home at 317 South 9th Street about 10:20 p.m. Rosendo Delgado allegedly opened fire in the house with a .38 caliber semi-automatic handgun, according to police. 3 people struck in the back have since been released from the hospital. Gabriela Rivera was shot in the neck while lying on a bedroom floor and died at the scene. Yakima County Prosecuting Attorney Jeff Sullivan said Friday that he has not decided whether or not to seek the death penalty. And we do know that he eventually did go and decide to seek the death penalty in that case. So this is a pretty tragic case. It goes along with this, but the gentleman is currently, Rosendo Delgado Jr., is currently spending time in jail. So and again, going back to it, it was all over the dispute over a car title and an $1,800 debt that led to this night of horror in Yakima. I want to thank you for joining me on the DLow Show this time. Just running through some of these cases and just the things that went on with this one right here. I'm going to keep cranking some of these out. So if you're liking them, go ahead and like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody, and give me that 5-star review. I hope you're having an awesome time doing what you do, and take care. We'll be back. I'll see you next time.